I was fortunate enough to be a high school and college basketball referee. And I had the good fortune to become friends with a guy named Kenny Hudson, who had refereed in the NBA. Well, the Celtics were having an old-timers game. I want to say it was January 5th, 1985. That's 40 years ago. And he said, "Hey, Lynch, what are you doing Saturday afternoon?" I said, "I don't know, Kenny, why?" He goes, "You want to referee the Celtics old-timers game?" I said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "I'm in. All right, wear your striped shirt. The game's at 1 o'clock. Be there about 11:30, blah, 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 blah." So every Celtic player that you can ever imagine was there in uniform. Russell, Cousy, Heinsohn, Havlicek, Paul Silas, Paul Westphal, Pete Maravich, you name it. They were all there. The two coaches for the two teams, they split them into a green team and a white team, were Red Auerbach coached one team, Bill Russell coached the other team. So the game's going along, and everybody's really happy seeing guys like Cousy make a jump shot. Here comes Sam Jones, here comes Casey Jones, here's Satch Sanders. And Charlie Scott fouls John Havlicek. So I go over to the table, and I go, number 11 in white, I go with a holding foul, 2 shots. And Auerbach is already up off the bench, and he lays into me. "What are you talking about? He never let any hand in there. But I tell you, that's the worst damn call I've ever seen in my life." And I said, "Well, to be honest with you, Coach," I said, "John Havlicek was my favorite player growing up. So I want to make sure you get in the scorebook, so I'm putting him at the foul line." "You're making a mockery out of this game. You're making a mockery out of this game. This isn't some Pee Wee Park League game that you're refereeing. This is the NBA. And the sooner you learn that, the better off it's going to be." So I said, okay, that went well. And so now we come a little bit later on in the game, and I call a foul on somebody, and Heinsohn comes over to me. Heinsohn goes, "Mikey," he goes, "listen, do me a favor. I'm going to pretend I'm going to the locker room. I'm going to go down that tunnel right here. All right? Take your time handing the ball to the shooter. I'm going to run around the bowels of the Matthews Arena. We're playing the game. And I'm going to come out the other entrance under the basket. And whoever's taking the ball out of bounds for me is going to fire it down the end. I'm going to be all by myself, and I'm going to lay it in." Sure enough, I take my time, give the ball to, let's say it was Satch or whoever was shooting. And the ball goes in, somebody takes it out, they fire down the other end. It's Heinsohn all by himself. He lays it in the basket. Everyone plays his lap. And it was kind of like a Harlem Globetrotters moment. Well, that was it for Red. He lost it. All right. It was already 1 strike against me. Now this one. "What are you doing? What are you doing there? You're making a mockery of this game. You're making a mockery of this game. You're a disgrace to basketball. Blah, 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 blah." So in my back pocket, I had a cigar, which I bought, and I was going to give to Red. So I took the cigar out of my back pocket, and I said, "Here, Red, here's a little peace offering. Take that cigar and stuff it up your ass, all right? Take that cigar and stuff it into anything. I don't want that goddamn thing. Get it out of my face right now." So I'm going, okay. So the game ends, and we're all showering in the same locker room. Both teams are in there. Kenny Hudson and I are in there. And remember, Bill Russell never did interviews. He never did an interview. Nobody in Boston can claim they had an interview with Russell because he didn't do any. So Russell goes, "Tough day, huh, kid?" And I go, "Whew." He said, "Well, now you know how Sid Borgia, Mandy Rudolph, all those guys, how they felt in the working games with Red." He said, "You think you got it bad? They got it 100 times as bad." I go, "Do you feel bad enough for me to do an interview with me?" He goes, "You got a camera guy handy?" I said, "He's right here." He said, "Let's go." And I did the interview with Bill Russell right here. And I'm saying to myself the whole time, I don't even know what I'm asking him. I'm saying, I can't believe I got an interview with Bill Russell. Wait till the rest of the world hears about this. And so I don't even think I took a shower. I think I just went right to the station and said, "Do not lose this tape. We've got a Bill Russell interview we're going to have right here." So about 3 weeks go by, and I'm in the Celtics office, and the old offices, you know, everybody was in there. Like they must have 50 people when they had space for about 5. I walk around the corner. I'm going up to see Steve Riley, and I literally bump into Red Auerbach. I said, "Oh gosh, he's going to kill me. He's going to lay into me." And so I bumped into him. I said, "Oh, hey, Coach." And I said, "Are you still mad at me?" "No, Mike, I'm not mad at you. No, but you got to understand, you know, If I'm playing tiddlywinks, if I'm playing cards, if it's the 7th game of the NBA final, I play to win every time. And I just thought that you really made a mockery and you were trying to make a joke out of it, like it was some Globetrotters game or something. I said, no, I wasn't, Coach. I have the utmost respect for you. I've been a fan my whole life. I've come to every one of you. I sneak into the garden. I love you and your team. He goes, come sit in my office. Come on, sit over here. So we sit in his office. We talked for about 45 minutes. He goes, I've done some checking up on you. You're a pretty good kid. They tell me you're a pretty good kid. And Hudson says you're not a bad referee. Do you want to be a referee? I said, well, I think I'm going to go with the sportscaster's route. He goes, well, we need another guy to referee our practices and our scrimmages. Would you be interested? Of course I'm interested. He said, the only problem is you can't report anything that happens while you're doing a scrimmage. Like if Bert sprains his ankle, you can't report it. If Mikhail pulls a hamstring, you can't report it. I said, deal. I didn't even have to think about it. I said, deal. My news director would never put up with it, but I said, deal. So I would go in over to Hellenic College, and Hudson and I would do scrimmages. And these scrimmages were like Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Walton was on the team, and he was with the second stringers, and they always were trying to beat Bird and McHale and Parrish and DJ and Danny Ainge. And they did sometimes too. And they were wild. They were going back and forth. And I got a tongue lashing from just about everybody that was on the team. And Kenny Hudson, no one yelled at him because he played in the NBA. He was friends with Russell. And he would just laugh at me every time out. He goes, I'm just laughing my head off, Lynchy. You're getting eaten alive by these guys. He goes, this is hilarious. I go, feel free to jump in and help anytime you want, Kenny. He goes, no, it's good for you. It's all part of growing up. So that was my interaction with Red and the Celtics, and it turned out to be a happy ending. But I didn't feel so after the cigar was told where to be placed.